Obsession. Released May 15th, 2026 in theaters. Created by a 26-year-old Gen Z kid. It's been blowing up a lot recently. It's quite the talk of the town. A lot of different people are making memes, skits, videos discussing plot points. And today I just wanted to yap about it and give my own thoughts and opinions about it. First off, if you haven't seen it, you might want to click off this video because I'm going to be discussing, like I said, some plot points and giving my thoughts and ideas on it. And two, it's just a really good movie. It's labeled as a scary/horror movie, but there's not as many like jump scares or a lot of gore. It's just super unsettling and uncanny. It makes you feel really uncomfortable. So, TLDR, click off now. Seriously, if you want to watch for yourself, you don't want anything spoiled. But TLDR, I noticed pretty quickly. I picked up on it. I didn't really know anything about it going in. I just knew it was about like a couple, because my girlfriend wanted to go see it because she had heard good things about it from friends and stuff online. So this guy is into this girl that he thinks that he doesn't really have a chance with because he's super shy and he's kind of reserved, and his friends also not giving him the best advice. But anyway, this guy is really into this girl that is part of his friend group that he's known for a really long time. He works with her and stuff, and he's trying to muster up the courage to go ahead and confess his feelings to her. Well, it gets to that point. He fumbles, but he had heard that she had lost a necklace, so he goes to a sort of alt store with like incense and stones and stuff like that, a hipster store, to go ahead and get her a new one. Well, he gets sidetracked by this one wish willow that apparently grants you one wish, and he didn't think much of it, so he bought it and he got it. And after that, he went to go confess his feelings. When the time comes, he fumbles. He couldn't do it. He thought that Nikki was turning him down, and he whips out this one wish willow, more of like a last ditch effort, not thinking much of it. He wishes that she would love him more than anything in the world. Turns out they actually work, and the wish is granted. TLDR, dude makes a wish and makes a girl into a yandere. It's funny because almost immediately after he made that wish, I made that comment to my girlfriend, and she started giggling because it was low-key kind of true. She made Gasai look sane. If you know that, you know, elite ball knowledge required for that one. But yeah, no. So almost instantly, she starts acting completely different, super crazy. Like she wants to hang out with him. She wants to go and stay at his place when she didn't want anything more than that. She was just trying to go home. He was dropping her off. And it's just a complete 180, and he doesn't really know how to react to it at first because, you know, he wasn't expecting it to work, one, and two, out of nowhere, it's a complete 180 in their personality. And she was also not acting quite like herself. If this makes any sense, let me try to explain. She was obviously herself. It was her body, her voice, and everything like that, but she was acting differently, making up weird lies and stories, and a lot of other different things that just didn't really make all that sense. It's not really explained in the movie, but you get more of an idea of what's going on. So essentially, she basically starts trying to live with him because she falls in love with him under a spell. It's not her at all. A lot of people have theorized that it was some sort of other entity, creature, or demon that was taking control of her for the wish, and it wasn't exactly her. Some people speculate that it was her just altering off of like a completely different mindset. But during the movie, there's actually a scene where the guy, the main protagonist, his name is Bear and Nikki is the girl. Bear gets up to go and meet with this one of his friends in his friend groups. It was another girl that he actually somewhat had feelings for, which is funny because he said that he wanted nothing more than to love Nikki. And he's going out to meet this girl really late at night, which is a pretty big red flag. But the girl, Nikki, is sleeping. But her actual self, her conscious self, the one that didn't have the wish taken and put on them, ends up speaking to him, asking to undo the wish or kill her. And Bear has the bright idea of actually trying to put it off on her and saying, what's so wrong with being with me? But we do get to see that it actually isn't Nikki, and that some sort of other outside force is somewhat controlling her. Maybe not an outside force, but it's not quite her. That's the big plot point. And after that, she goes on a huge yandere spree of unaliving people in some pretty gruesome ways so that no one can get in the way of him and her. which, if you know anything about a yandere, I mean that fits pretty well. It's just different to see in a more real life setting rather than anime, because anime and stuff like that, that's where yandere originates from. Maybe not like the original idea, but I mean that's where the name comes from. You know, a woman that's crazy obsessed with a dude and willing to do anything to be with him, and honestly like way over the top with a lot of things, like doesn't want them talking to other people, doesn't want them to have other friends, and there's a lot of different iterations of it. But yeah, it's just a lot different to see in real life or in like a real life setting as to what that would look like, because obviously real life's way different than anime, and I don't even really need to explain that, you should know. But it is honestly it's one of the better movies I've seen recently, even though that you kind of know what the plot point is almost right away. You don't know what's going to happen and what's going to act out and how Nikki's going to act. She starts off pretty crazy, from flipping, a 180 on her personality and doing things a lot differently than what she would be doing for Bear. But over time, it gets progressively worse and worse and worse. So one of the scenes is she's trying to make Bear feel better by doing like a little memorial for his cat, but she takes like the body out, the rotting corpse, and like puts it on the ground of the kitchen with some lights around it and stuff, and tries to make it like a weird sweet moment. And obviously Bear's all freaked out, and he has to try to talk to her like, hey, that's weird, we don't do that. And he's trying to like, what he's trying to do is he's trying to make it work, because he did want to be with her. Yeah, maybe not under those quite those circumstances, but he was trying to make it work, which really wasn't the best for his case, because there was no way it was ever going to work. You can't force love on anyone else, whether it's actually forcing on them or quote unquote by some wish or anything like that. It has to come naturally. They either are attracted to you and like you, or they don't. But so it starts with her making a memorial with his dead cat. Then she ends up making him lunch for his shift the next day. She makes the sandwich with the cat. That is probably the most uncomfortable I was in the theater throughout the whole movie. One, because I'm just a cat person. I love cats so much. And two, I have my own cat, and it was just putting weird, bad thoughts in my mind. And I was thinking about my cat and like, what if somehow that was happening to me? And I I usually I don't jump, I don't squirm very easily. I love watching horror movies because I can like I know it's a film, I know it's actors, and it's really hard to put that curtain in front of me without me seeing behind it, if that makes any sense. But even though I'm pretty well versed with horror stuff and everything like that, it still made me uncomfortable. The way she was moving a lot, she like progressively over time, she kept moving more uncanny and almost like unhuman like, um, which is just super unsettling. Seeing somebody move the way they shouldn't be and doing weird body movements. I mean, any human is going to be scared of that. I don't know what it's called, but I know humans are they have an innate fear that's built into our DNA to be scared of and avoid human-esque or human-like things that resemble humans but aren't quite them, maybe move the same and talk the same but aren't. That's why skinwalkers are very well known and very prominent, and overall just seen as like a very scary thing, because they try to resemble humans the best way they can so they can kill and be menaces, but they always have like an uncanny feeling to them, as if they don't know exactly how to be human, which they don't because they aren't humans, but they're studying and trying their best to be. It's almost like that's what she was. Obviously she wasn't, but just the way she was moving around and acting all strange and just everything like that, it gave Screamwalker vibes or Skinwalker vibes or something along those lines. So after he gets fed his dead cat, he tries to reason with her and explain to her why that's bad. And it's just funny because, like I said before, he was trying to like justify why he was trying to make it work. He knew that it was bad, but he was still trying to make the best out of the situation, even though it was completely fucked, and he should have tried to reverse the wish as soon as possible. So after he goes to work, comes back, he's gonna talk to her about it all. She ends up standing completely still and waiting for him the whole time he's gone. So she uses the bathroom in her pants multiple times, both one and two, and like doesn't blink and like I think throws up in her mouth, and like it's just a completely disgusting scene. And she has to go clean herself up after, and then he asks her if he can go out with some friends, only himself, and she doesn't really like the idea, so they end up going together. When they do that, they go to a party. She keeps acting more uncanny, except there's other people to witness and see it. And then after that, almost everyone knows that there's something fucked up going on, something with her, and they start putting it on Bear, which rightfully so. After that, that's when the girl Sarah, the one that wanted to meet up with him late when Nikki and Bear were sleeping together, after that, that's when she texts him to do all that. And then, Bear talks to Nikki in her sleep, and kind of you can see that it's not actually Nikki. And then after that, some people get slimed, and yeah, I'm not going to explain the rest of the plot. I feel like I've got the most of the parts out. Actually, no. Wait. One other thing that really kept me on edge and made me really uneasy was the sleeping scene where he wakes up and she's just watching him sleep. Apparently, she actually had on some makeup that made her face look somewhat distorted and uncanny. Not like so much so to where like you could tell right away, but since it was dark and she was pretty far away from the screen, like it almost looked like her face was normal, but you could obviously tell there was something wrong with it, and it was due to some special effects and makeup, which was really cool because that's just really good art design. And two, it's just a very good way of making people feel uneasy and unsettled. Overall, though, I really did enjoy the movie. I have not seen a movie quite like that in a while that really kept me on edge and really kept me interested. I was invested the whole way through. I won't lie, at the beginning, it was a little bit of a snooze fest, but what are you going to do? It just kind of opened up a little slow. I thought it was going to be like a chick flick. Not a chick flick, but I just wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. I was there with my girlfriend, and we had a long day. I was tired, I was dozing off, but once the plot actually started to pick up, man, I was super invested. It's a really good movie. I highly suggest it to anyone that hasn't seen it. Like seriously, you have to go out and see it. I mean, with this weekend, today, right now, this instant, whenever it is, you got to do it because it's like the talk of the town. A lot of people are discussing it. Like I said earlier, making memes, skits. It's one of the highest rated movies of this year already, especially in the horror genre. I think it might be one, if not two. It's definitely really high up there. It wasn't made by Hollywood. It was made by a YouTuber, a young YouTuber, 26-year-old. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but it just shows that AMC and movies are actually coming back. If people are making stuff that people want to go out and see and that is good, people will go see it. They just don't want to see the same slop over and over and over produced by Hollywood that people can predict the plot to, and you're just using big actors that are in almost every other movie. It doesn't make them feel original or unique, and it kind of takes away from some of the immersion. If you see Tom Holland in every movie, like sure, like he's a good person, he's a good actor, but it screams that this is a movie. You're not watching like something like that could be real or anything like that. And that's one of the things that the producers really wanted to stay away from. He didn't want to hire, a really well known pretty girl as the main role because it would have taken away from the ambiance. It would have been distracting and it just wouldn't have been as believable. So he went with somebody that was not known at all, that had good potential and was a good actor, and look how it turned out. It's easily her best role that she's done. She's going to be blowing up, and hopefully she has a really good career after this because not only one is she pretty attractive, but two, she's a really good actor. She knows what she's doing, and she played that role really well. I got to give all props to her. Bear was pretty good too, but Nikki was definitely the star of the show. Sorry about that. I was a little bit all over the place. I didn't script anything on this. I was just kind of ranting. I just saw the movie a few days ago, and it's still pretty fresh on my mind, and I just wanted to go ahead and rant for a little bit, get it out there, give my opinions on it. And I just would love to have like a thorough discussion in the comments, giving like ideas or theories or beliefs or maybe what you liked or didn't like about the movie or anything you would want. Yeah, that's it for the video. Peace out. You have a chill one.